Hi there and welcome to the Indie by Pioneera dashboard. I'm just going to do you a quick tour and show you what you can get from the dashboard and how it can help your business. So when you log on to app.pioneera.com, it's browser based so you can access it from anywhere. The first thing you see is your overview page and really what you need to know in a snapshot. At the top here is my own personal data. No one can access this data except for me. We have it secure and encrypted, and only I can access my own private and confidential data. And this is the team's data. So I can only access this panel on my overview page if I have access to my team data, which is provided to me by the manager or the administrator of the workspace or the channel that I'm a part of. So I'm the owner of the stress page in our Slack workspace, so I have access to the team. So if I click through, it gives me all the information that I need to see in my team. I'm going to expand the period here, because this down the bottom here is our trends chart and actually is one of the most popular parts of our dashboard. As a manager, I can scroll through this chart and I can have a look at what's happening, and I can look at the trends over a period of time. So I've selected 3 weeks. I can have a look over those 3 weeks and say, okay, am I seeing any trends in the peaks in my stress and wellness in my team, and how do I action that? As you can see, as I'm mousing over, it's quite a bit at 9:30 a.m. That's when we have our stand-up, so it's not surprised that usually creates a bit of stress. But what's interesting that I hadn't noticed until now is we also have a bit of a spike in the afternoon. Now that's a surprise for my team, so there must be something going on in the afternoon, and that's caused me to stop and think, and I'll go back to the team and talk to them about what's happening for them. When we see this example here, when it's stress and wellness at the same time, that's what our customers are telling us is productivity, and we're doing some work with the University of Sydney to validate that. The rest of the page gives me the insights I need to know as a manager. Best day, toughest day. I'm not surprised. We had a pretty intense day Wednesday of last week as we're working through shipping our new product feature. And here's the tip that Indy is giving to me as a manager. So this is a specific manager tip to help me lead my team. So this is about leading by example. I can get more information if I choose to do so on how to best smile, or I can move on to the next tip. So this is a tip here about investing in your team, and here's some ways to do that. And as I said, if I want more information, I can read more. These are expert leadership tips we've sourced to match with the data that Indy's seeing in your communications. Wellness is down and messages are down, so that's something that I'd be concerned about. And again, I'll pick up with my team. What I wanted to point out, which is kind of nifty, is that we have the ability to create subgroups. So here I can click and look at a different part of the team, and that gives me an ability to drill down. So purple is something that we made up. So for example, that could be marketing, it could be technology, it could be a different group of people. So one customer is actually using this data to break down new employees, so employees that have been at the company for 6 months versus those that have been there longer. So you can slice and dice the data as you need. Again, the team data is always at least 6 people in a team to protect the privacy of the individuals. So if I click on purple, you'll see that the goal changes. If I go back to the stress page, you'll see that data shifts. So as you can see, you get different views for different data, and the tip that Indy provides you changes too depending on what's happening in the data. And if we have a look at me, this is my personal insights. I'm just going to expand the search area again so we can take a greater look. This has been a pretty intense couple of weeks for us as we ship our new product feature. Along the lines here is what you're seeing is chronic stress for me over this period of what is nearly a week. So that's not a great outcome from an individual point of view, and absolutely Indy is giving me tips to be able to deal with what she's seeing here. And this tip, as you can see, is more specifically targeted to an individual. So this is about what I can do as an individual. If I want to see another tip, I can have a look at hugging a loved one to calm my nerves. And this is pretty important, which I have found in my own team, is that I didn't even realize until I was doing this that engagement was down. So I, as the leader of the team, hadn't been engaging with my team online as much as I usually would, which is obviously a concern because as the leader, they take their lead from me. So this was a good insight for me to see, and I'll continue to engage with my team, or actually up my engagement with my team to make sure I'm still connected, because engagement and participation is a key input to creating a great culture, but it's also a key input into workplace health and wellness. So that's the dashboard. Please don't hesitate to call out if you have any questions. Thanks.